This Icon podcast is hosted and sponsored by Sphere Rocket Virtual Assistants, a leading provider for your virtual assistants and outsourcing needs. Owned by one of the top-ranking EXP agents, Justin Nelson. Sphere Rocket VA provides a one-stop virtual staffing solution for business owners, and we specialize in helping business owners grow their business by leveraging through virtual assistants. Trusted by the top names in the real estate industry like Kyle Whistle, Andrew Franklin, John Kitchens, and many more. Get ready to up your success and we'll help you achieve your business goals. Book your free consultation at sphererocketva.com and find out how we can make your life easier.
What's up? Welcome back to another episode of the Icon Podcast. I'm your host, Gianna, and today we have the pleasure and opportunity of getting to know Alison. Welcome to the show.
Hi there.
And Alison, why don't you take us back to the beginning? Who are you? What got yourself into real estate? Where are you from? What's your story?
Well, let's see. Back in 1972, I came out of my mama's belly. And
back where it all began.
Yes, where it all began. Right. All right, let's see. So I was kind of a late entry into real estate. Mm-hmm. I was 43 years old.
Okay.
When I decided, hey, I want to become a real estate agent. I had a passion for it, but never really could take the time. Being straight commission kind of brings its own challenges. So I was working in corporate America, told my husband, hey, Monday I'm going in and quitting my job. And he's like, you're doing what?
You're crazy.
Yeah, exactly. And he said, well, why don't you do that like part-time kind of stuff? And I'm like, I'm not the part-time kind of girl.
And they say there's no such thing as a part-time realtor,
Right. Well, and then he was thinking like part-time in school, like you can take your time. And I'm like, yeah, I don't think that'll work for me. So left corporate America, been an agent for 7 years. I just turned 50.
Oh, happy birthday.
Yeah. So not your typical real estate agent as far as like starting young and, kind of seeing your way through. So it's been a challenge, but has been so amazing. I didn't start with EXP Realty. I started with another company, and then I went to a boutique brokerage. Really didn't want to leave. Like I really liked where I was at, and I wasn't really looking for anything. And I went to a little, little meeting type of thing at the World War II Museum out here in New Orleans. And then I was like, holy cow, I have to go there. And it took me a good probably 4 months to get there. And life has been wonderful since.
That's awesome. Well, Alison, how are you introduced to EXP? How was that brought up to you? How did it go breaking up with your brokerage and everything else that comes with making that switch?
Yeah. So, I had an invitation to, I think the topic was something like, let's do real estate in teams or something like that. So it was kind of like how to do a team in real estate. Went to this presentation, and of course it was EXP teams. I'm like, okay,
yeah,
I like this. Yeah. So the more I learned, I was like, oh, I really like this. And then the gentleman that brought me in, we had dinner with my husband because, my husband had all these questions and then I couldn't answer them. So I'm like, let's just all do this together. And then my husband's like, what are you waiting for? Come on. What are you waiting for? I'm like, but wait, like I went to school with my broker, like the broker that I was with. And I'm like, there's like a
relationship. Yeah.
It was a total breakup.
Oh.
So it took me, I'm like, okay, after the first of the year. So in January, I think it ended up being January 4th, is when I had the conversation with my little boutique brokerage that does a really good job. I was like, sorry, I got to do my own thing.
Yeah, it's tough, but if they were put in the same situation with a better opportunity, they probably would have broken up with you too, Alison. So
I know, right?
Look at that.
Yes.
And now that you're over here with EXP, what have you fallen in love with? They've got the stock options, they've got rev share, collaboration. So what didn't you expect when you were coming over to EXP that you now really love about it?
Yeah. Well, you don't know what to expect when you don't know, right?
Mm-hmm.
You hear other people's stories and are like, oh, that's that person. That's not me.
Yeah.
And really, you are surprised around every corner. The first set of stock that I got, I was like, like it's Christmas.
Yeah.
And then when stock split and then the agent attraction and, kind of mentoring those agents that you bring in because you want them to get that same, and then I was really worried about not having that team spirit, I guess is kind of the thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not an office girl, but if I needed it was there.
Yeah.
And when I say the office, it was the relationships with the office. It wasn't the physical building of an office, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I think like what I was the most surprised about was I don't care if it's someone in New York or Boston or California or Wisconsin, wherever, they are willing to help. What might work here or, in New Orleans doesn't work somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm struggling with something, down here, I can get those ideas from other people and try it in my own market where like that's unheard of, right? So
I love that. Yeah, you're right. That nobody keeps their secrets to their chest here at EXP because, sharing the knowledge is sharing the wealth and success leaves breadcrumbs. You have the saying, I've got it. Like EXP's just got that collaboration that is untouchable by really any other company.
right.
And Alison, you have to stay busy. You've got high production. You're killing the game. And how do you take care of yourself? I mean, you're a wife. I'm sure you've got a lot more titles on your plate as well. So, what recharges you? How do you chase this work-life balance that everybody speaks of, but nobody seems to have perfected?
Yeah, it's something I still strive for. Yes, wife, mother, daughter, all that, best friend, all that kind of good stuff. And it is something that I struggle for, or struggle with.
Yeah.
But I think the biggest thing for me and my business is my husband and I love to travel.
Yeah.
Okay. And we take the time to travel. And I think like you have to literally disconnect. And there are times that I have to bring my laptop with me and take care of things or whatever. But I do have a small team. My husband's one of the agents, but he's now inactive. But then I have another girl that I know that I can depend on for anything. So we just got back from Italy and we spent 2 weeks, but I knew everything was taken care of. So it's surrounding yourself with like-minded individuals and knowing that you're not the only one that can get the job done.
Absolutely.
That's hard for me.
Yeah, as an entrepreneur, you want to build a business that you can step away from and it'll run itself. You were able to step away for 2 weeks. The goal is like 6 months to a year, right? Business will run itself. And so you're working there. You're in the right direction, Alison.
Yeah, I'm trying hard.
Well, let's talk a little more about the Icon Award then, right? Because that's why you're here, an Icon agent on the Icon podcast. And Alison, how many houses did you have to sell in your market to cap? So what's that average market price look like for you?
So probably the average sales price is somewhere between $2 and $250. Okay. So for me to cap, I'm usually capping 30 sales. Okay. And then Icon's usually 50.
Okay, yes. So the 20 sales after transactions afterwards. Okay.
Yeah. of course, it sometimes it takes a little bit longer. This week I will actually cap at the end of this month.
Okay, congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. So that's a 6-month period. So that my reset date is February 1st.
Okay, awesome. So we're on a good time track here.
Yeah, exactly. And then I'll have till January 31st to complete my production and get my next Icon Award.
Awesome. Is this your first time iconing, Allison?
No.
No? Okay. So then what do you do for the cultural commitment part, right? I know the model's about to change to a bit of a point system, but for the sake of simplicity, let's talk about, are you a coach, mentor, teach an EXP world? What do you do?
Yeah, so I've kind of taken a couple different roles, because let's say I've been with EXP 4.5 years. I've gotten Icon 3 of those years, missed my 4th year by 1 transaction. So when I first started out, I started out as a mentor, did that for a couple years. And then the last way the requirements were, we did these like Zoom calls. I think we had to do 4 or 6 of them for the year.
Sure.
So that's how I completed this last requirement.
Awesome. Yeah. Allison, what has been your favorite part of iconing, right? You get a big shiny glass trophy. You have the opportunity to be paid to go to EXPCon and shareholders. There's that trophy.
There's one of them, right?
Yeah. You get back in stock. So what is your favorite part about iconing? What makes you want to chase it again next year and, hit the ground running with that production?
I think the biggest deal is, okay, so I was always told that, being in a boutique brokerage, that I was the big fish in the little pond, right? So now I'm in this huge pond and I'm a little fish.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like I'm a minnow anymore. I feel
absolutely.
Yeah. So it's my self-growth that I strive for. The stock options doesn't, hurt. But yeah, it's you will always want to continue to grow. And, when we stay stagnant, there is no growth there. And that's something that I always want. The continuously learning, and whether it's learning on a class or this podcast, or even learning doing a different transaction, because with real estate, everything's always changing.
Yes, you have to evolve or get left behind in this industry. That's just the way it is.
And I think that's why I strive for it. I wanted I was so upset the year that I missed it by 1 transaction. So upset.
I know. You just want to kick yourself for that.
Yes. I'm like, why did I take that day off or whatever?
Well, Allison, speaking of that, as a rookie or somebody new coming over to EXP, is it possible to icon in their first year? How do they avoid mistakes, like maybe missing it by 1 transaction, or what are some, mistakes that you maybe made that a rookie or somebody new to EXP can avoid when attempting to icon in their first year?
Right. So I was fortunate enough to icon my first year. It was my 2nd year that I missed it. I keep a Excel spreadsheet of all of my transactions, and I keep a running total of where I'm at, right? So it has a column of what EXP's portion is of my commission, and it's a run total, so I can see when I'm getting to my cap amount of the 16. Okay.
Yeah.
And then I know the transactions after that. So it's just being aware of your numbers and staying on top of it. And like, okay, you got 6 more months, Allison, you need to do this, this, and this. And, what is your plan to get there? If I'm capping at the end of the month, I already have 5 transactions already on the books to go towards my icon. So then that only leaves me 15 more. So it's just being aware, staying on top of everything, and don't take no for an answer.
That's good advice. I like that, Alison.
Yeah.
And were you ever skeptical of EXP when you were looking to make the move over here?
So I don't think so. I was nervous,
Right,
nervous,
of course.
right? But I was never skeptical.
So for somebody watching right now, or maybe even yourself, back when you were first introduced to EXP and you were nervous about it, what would you have to say about making the jump over here? Because people, they make people looking to move to EXP nervous because they say it's a pyramid scheme, it's a cult, so on and so forth. So what would you say to the old you or to somebody watching right now with those same nerves?
Yeah. So the crazy thing is when I joined, that really wasn't a big issue. Like it wasn't pushed out in the in social media and everything. But there are going to be negatives in every single business you go to, whether it's real estate, restaurants, or whatever. There are going to be negatives, right? And there are going to be naysayers, and someone's going to have a bad a bad experience with EXP, because it's a two-way street. So if you don't put everything into it, you're not going to get everything out of it. Mm-hmm. So be open-minded, talk to tons of people, do your research. And honestly, if you don't like it, go back to where you were. I mean, what does it hurt, right?
Right. Just to try it out. There's so much to gain and so little to lose.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So yeah, definitely do it. And people always ask, oh, do you wish you did it sooner? No, I don't wish I did it sooner, because this is where I was supposed to be at this particular time. I mean, I was agent number like 6,500.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm agent number like 82,000.
Right. So, I mean, look how much we've grown in that short period of time.
Right.
So if we grow that much, there must be something,
something going right. Success leaves breadcrumbs. You're absolutely right, Alison.
Right.
And you're actually the first person that has said, like I hear the most common on this show, I wish I would have done it sooner. So you're the first person, that is, you're like, left it up to fate. I love that approach to it. But, you made some good points of ask your questions, do your due diligence, make sure you're doing your research, have somebody explain the model to you, check out the videos from EXP. Don't look at other resources, because I guess there's a brokerage out there that has a 2-page list of why not to go over to EXP. And all of those are myth busted. Okay. They're not facts. They're untrue about EXP. Mm-hmm. So do your research. You owe it to yourself as a business owner and entrepreneur, and reach out to people at EXP, because there's no better way to learn than right from the source, right?
Exactly.
And Alison, we are creeping up on 20 minutes here. It's been an awesome episode. You're killing it. What do you have to leave the listeners with today? Obviously, they can reach out to you if they have any questions, because that's just the EXP way. But any advice or, words of wisdom, a joke, I don't know, fun fact you want to leave us all with?
Yeah. So I'll tell you, if you're thinking about doing real estate, don't waste your time. I mean, like, don't procrastinate. It's time. It's no time like the present. I was 43 when I made the change over to real estate, and it's been the best decision that I've made, only for myself and my family, my finances. It's allowed me a trip to Italy, different travels and investment properties and stuff like that. So, in surrounding yourself with so many individuals that do so much, whether it's coaching, production, agent attraction, there are, key people to talk to that if you want to succeed, you are capable of succeeding. If you don't want it, then there's that option also. But you got to want it.
I agree.
Taking.
I agree. You have to want it. This is an industry that takes work, and as the market shifts, I don't think we're going to have a crash. But as it shifts
and
things change, I had somebody tell me that the eagles are going to be separated from the turkeys flying in a tornado. And I just thought that was incredibly accurate statement, right?
That is probably true.
You're going to have to, in the coming months, work for those transactions and really rely on those word of mouth and stay at the top of mind and work with your mentors and coaches and continue learning in EXP world and any other resources that you can get.
Right. Yes. I mean, it will definitely set some agents apart. That's for sure.
Absolutely. And Alison, are you going to be at EXPCon?
I will.
Okay. I'll be there too.
All right. Awesome. I was not able to make shareholders, but yes, I will be at EXPCon.
Awesome. Well, super excited to get to see you at EXPCon. Hopefully we can connect and get a selfie and everything else. Definitely. And Alison, thank you so much for your time and wisdom today. Incredible career you've had, especially for being late to the game. I think it's awesome. And good luck with iconing this year. I have no doubt that you'll get there or ever miss it by one transaction ever again.
Never.
Alison, thank you for your time. We'll
Thanks, Gianna.
Again soon.
All right. Sounds wonderful. Bye.
This Icon podcast is hosted and sponsored by Sphere Rocket Virtual Assistants, a leading provider for your virtual assistants and outsourcing needs. Owned by one of the top-ranking EXP agents, Justin Nelson. Sphere Rocket VA provides a one-stop virtual staffing solution for business owners, and we specialize in helping business owners grow their business by leveraging through virtual assistants. Trusted by the top names in the real estate industry like Kyle Whistle, Andrew Franklin, John Kitchens, and many more. Get ready to up your success and we'll help you achieve your business goals. Book your free consultation at sphererocketva.com and find out how we can make your life easier.